For a moment, you think you're doing everything right. You're calm, you're patient, you're using the gentle words you promised yourself you would. And then it happens. Your toddler drops to the floor, emotions spilling everywhere, and suddenly nothing you say seems to reach them. You get down at their level. You explain why they can't have what they want. You offer choices. You breathe slowly, hoping your calm will somehow carry them through. But the meltdown only grows, bigger, messier, almost as if you're standing right in front of your child and still completely invisible. That's when the doubt creeps in. Am I being too soft, too strict? Why does this keep happening even when I'm trying so hard? You love your child deeply, and that's what makes this moment so heavy, because it's not just about getting through a tantrum, it's about the fear that you're missing something important, something you were supposed to know by now. But what if this moment isn't about control at all? What if your child isn't testing you, but telling you something in the only way they know how? In the next section, I'm going to gently unpack a parenting belief many of us grew up with. And once you see why it doesn't work in moments like this, these situations will start to make a lot more sense. Here's the part most parents are never told, and it's the moment everything finally starts to make sense. When your toddler is crying, screaming, or acting like you don't even exist, it's not stubbornness, it's not manipulation, and it's not proof that you failed to set the right rule. What's happening underneath is far gentler and far more human than the old advice ever explained. For generations, parents have been told to ignore the behavior, to explain calmly until the child understands, or to assert authority so the child learns who's in charge. And when that advice doesn't work, parents don't question the advice, they ask themselves. But here's the truth that changes everything. During intense emotional moments, a young child physically cannot access logic. Their brain temporarily shifts into survival mode. This isn't defiance. This isn't bad behavior. It's biology doing exactly what it was designed to do. In that moment, asking a dysregulated toddler to use their words is like asking someone to think clearly while holding their breath underwater. The ability hasn't vanished, it's just unavailable right then. And when no one explains this, parents are left feeling helpless, frustrated, and quietly ashamed, wondering why calm explanations seem to make things worse instead of better. This is where so many loving, well-intentioned parents get trapped. You're following the rules you were given, you're trying harder, you're staying patient, yet nothing changes, and that gap between effort and outcome starts to hurt. So hear this clearly and let it land. You are not failing your child. You are handed an outdated map, one that doesn't reflect how a young child's nervous system actually works. And once that map is updated, something remarkable happens. The struggle softens, the power battles fade, because guiding behavior doesn't require obedience first, it requires regulation first. There is a way to calm behavior that works with your child's nervous system instead of fighting against it, and it feels more peaceful for you too. I'll reveal the quiet core idea behind a Japanese-inspired parenting approach, one that transforms behavior without punishments, power struggles, or raising your voice. And once you understand it, you'll never look at toddler meltdowns the same way again. In many Western homes, we're taught a very clear sequence: obedience first, understanding later. Follow the rule, do what you're told, calm down now, and then we'll talk. It sounds reasonable, it sounds responsible, but for many parents, it quietly turns everyday moments into constant power struggles, leaving everyone exhausted by the end of the day. In Japanese parenting culture, that order is often flipped. The focus isn't on forcing calm in the moment, it's on helping a child find calm over time. The belief underneath is simple but powerful. Lasting behavior doesn't grow out of pressure, it grows out of emotional safety. When a child feels safe inside their body, steady, cooperation becomes possible. This is where the quiet shift happens. Instead of asking, "How do I make this stop?" the question becomes, "What is my child trying to tell me right now?" Because behavior is communication before it is compliance. When a child feels seen during big emotions, when their feelings are met instead of fought, their nervous system settles faster, and only after that settling does learning actually take place. This isn't permissive parenting. There are still boundaries, there is still guidance, but the structure comes after the connection, not before it. You're not giving in, you're creating the conditions where your child can actually hear you. When you start to see behavior as a signal instead of a problem, something softens. Crying, refusing, or melting down stops feeling like personal failures or emergencies to fix. They become cues, signals that your child's emotional system needs support before it can cooperate. And once that system calms, cooperation doesn't have to be forced. It arrives naturally. This shift from obedience to understanding is what quietly transforms daily battles into moments of growth. Not overnight, not perfectly, but gently, steadily, and with far less exhaustion. I'll share a short, cinematic, real-life story that shows exactly how this shift looks in action, and how one small change in your response can soften a child almost instantly. Picture a quiet kitchen in the late afternoon. The light spills gently through the window, soft and warm, while dinner is still a few minutes away. A toddler stands near the counter, reaching for something just out of reach. When the parent says no, the child's body reacts instantly. Their shoulders tense, small hands curl into tight fists. The pause before the storm is brief. A whine rises, then tears, and finally the child sinks to the floor in a full-body protest. In the past, this was where the rush would begin. The parent might have explained, warned, or tried to stop the moment before it escalated. But this time, something changes. The parent doesn't hurry. They pause. They lower themselves to the child's level. Instead of correcting the behavior, they connect with the feeling underneath it. In a calm, steady voice, they name what they see. They stay close, present, grounded, unthreatening. The room doesn't get louder. It gets quieter, even though the child is still crying. And then, slowly, you see it. The shift you can't force. The child's breathing begins to slow. The fists loosen. The crying loses its sharp edge and becomes uneven, almost tired. The child's body turns slightly toward the parent instead of away. No magic words were spoken, no rules were enforced at that moment, but something essential was restored: safety. Once that safety returns, calm follows. And only then does the child become capable of listening. This is the power of responding to the nervous system first. The behavior didn't change because the parent demanded control. It changed because the child felt regulated enough to reconnect. What looked like discipline from the outside was actually emotional support doing its quiet work. I'll break down what's happening inside a young child's brain during moments like this, using simple, clear science that makes everything you just witnessed finally make sense. When a young child becomes overwhelmed, their brain doesn't misbehave, it protects. In that moment, the brain shifts into a built-in survival mode. The part responsible for reasoning, listening, and problem-solving temporarily steps offline. You can imagine it like a light quietly switching off. Until calm returns, no explanation, warning, or lesson can turn it back on. At the same time, the child's nervous system is flooded with energy meant for big feelings, not thoughtful choices. Their body is preparing to react, not reflect. This is why instructions seem to disappear during a meltdown. It's not defiance, it's not a refusal, it's a nervous system asking for help settling before anything else can happen. This is where co-regulation becomes powerful. Co-regulation means that before a child can calm themselves, they borrow calm from you. Your steady voice, your relaxed posture, your quiet presence. These aren't small things. They send a deep signal of safety, and as that signal lands, the nervous system begins to soften. Slowly, the thinking brain comes back online. Only then do listening, learning, and cooperation become possible. This is the moment most parenting advice skips, but once you understand it, something inside you shifts too. Big emotions stop feeling like emergencies you have to shut down. They start to look like signals, requests for support before guidance can work. And that support is what builds better behavior over time. Not fear, not pressure, connection first. I'll give this approach a simple, memorable name, so even on your hardest, most exhausting days, you'll know exactly what to do in the moment. To make this approach easy to remember, especially in the middle of stress, we give it a simple name, the connection bridge, because that's exactly what you're building in those hard moments. Before guidance can work, your child needs a way to cross from emotional overload back into calm awareness. Connection is that bridge. The idea is simple, but the impact is powerful. The connection bridge has one purpose: to move your child out of emotional chaos and into a state where listening, learning, and cooperation are actually possible. It doesn't remove boundaries, it doesn't excuse behavior, it simply changes the order. First, you build safety, then you guide behavior. That shift is what makes this approach work when obedience-based reactions fall apart. Having a name for this matters more than it sounds. When emotions are high, your brain needs something steady to hold onto. Instead of reacting from frustration or fear, you can ground yourself with a single thought: I'm building the bridge. That reminder alone can slow your body, soften your voice, and change the entire tone of the moment. And here's the quiet power of that shift. When you stay regulated, your child feels it. When your child feels it, their nervous system settles faster. And once that happens, cooperation no longer has to be forced, it becomes possible. We'll break the connection bridge into clear, step-by-step actions you can use in real life, starting with what to do in the very first seconds of a meltdown when everything feels hardest. Now, let's turn the connection bridge into something you can actually use in real life, on the days you're exhausted, touched out, and running on very little patience. These steps are meant to be followed in order because each one gently prepares your child's nervous system for the next. When parents say this approach didn't work, it's usually because one step was skipped under stress. Step 1. Regulate yourself first. The old instinct is to stop the behavior immediately. The new approach begins with you. Your child's nervous system is constantly reading yours. If your voice is tight or your body is tense, their system reads danger, even if your words are calm. Before you say anything, soften your shoulders, slow your breath. Real-life script to yourself: I'm here, I can handle this. You don't say this out loud, you anchor yourself first. This small internal pause is what allows the bridge to start forming. Step 2. Name the feeling, not the behavior. The old way corrects the action: stop crying, or that's not okay. The new way acknowledges the emotion underneath. This doesn't mean you approve of the behavior. It means your child feels understood, and understanding is what calms the nervous system. Real-life script: you're really upset right now. You wanted that so badly. When feelings are named, the body begins to soften. Being seen is regulating. Step 3. Offer calm presence before instructions. The old habit is to jump straight to solutions or consequences. The new approach pauses. You stay close without demanding anything. Your calm presence does the work before words ever can. Real-life script: I'm right here with you. This is often the turning point, the moment when crying shifts from sharp and frantic to softer and slower. This pause can feel uncomfortable. It may feel like you're doing nothing or rewarding the meltdown. You're not. You're allowing the nervous system to settle, so learning becomes possible. Rushing this step is the #1 reason gentle approaches feel ineffective. Regulation has to come before instruction. Step 4. Guide the behavior after calm returns. Once breathing slows and the body relaxes, the listening brain comes back online. Now, guidance works. Real-life script: we can't have that right now, but you can choose this or this. Notice the order: connection first, correction second. Step 5. close with reassurance and consistency. The old way ends with tension hanging in the air. The new way closes with safety. This teaches your child that big emotions don't break the connection. Real life script. You had big feelings, and we got through them together. These steps won't stop every meltdown instantly, but they completely change what meltdowns teach. Instead of fear or power struggles, your child learns regulation, trust, and cooperation over time, not through force. I'll show you a powerful before and after comparison, what daily life looks like without this approach, and how dramatically it shifts when the connection bridge becomes your default response. Before using the connection bridge, moments of big emotion often feel chaotic and personal. A small refusal spirals into a long struggle. The crying gets louder. The explanation gets longer. The parent's voice tightens even when they promised themselves it wouldn't. By the end, everyone is exhausted. The behavior may stop, but it stops through weariness, not understanding. And later, the same scene repeats, leaving the parent wondering why nothing ever seems to stick. Now, picture the same moment after this approach becomes familiar. The emotion still shows up, because emotions are part of being human, but the spiral never takes over the room. The parent pauses instead of reacting. The child feels supported instead of challenged. Tears still come, but they move through the body faster. The boundary is held, but it lands gently instead of sharply, and something shifts inside the parent too. A quiet, grounding thought, I handled that differently. Over time, these moments begin to stack. The child calms faster because their nervous system remembers what safety feels like. The parent stops bracing for meltdowns and starts recognizing them as opportunities to build emotional security. The home feels steadier, not because the child is perfectly behaved, but because the relationship itself feels safe and predictable. This is what real change looks like. Not silence, not obedience, but trust is built moment by moment. I'll guide you through a short interactive pause you can practice right now. Something simple you can use in the heat of the moment to reset your body and your child's, even on your hardest days. Let's pause together for a moment. Understanding this approach with your mind is helpful, but feeling it in your body is what makes it usable when real life gets loud. If you can, settle where you are and let your shoulders drop just a fraction. Nothing needs to be perfect. This is just a brief reset for you. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Let it rise into your chest, then gently into your belly. Now exhale slowly, longer than you inhaled, as if you're releasing tension from your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Let that breath leave your body completely. Do it once more. As you breathe out, imagine yourself becoming the calm anchor in the room. Now, gently picture your child in a hard moment. Not the behavior, but what's underneath it. Imagine their nervous system is overwhelmed and asking for help. See yourself lowering your voice, softening your face, staying close without rushing to fix or correct. Notice what happens inside you as you imagine this. Even the image alone creates steadiness. This is the state you want to access before you speak. You don't need to be perfectly calm. You don't need to get it right every time. You only need to be calmer than your child. That's enough. That's where co-regulation begins. And this, right here, is what makes everything else possible. I'll walk you through what real change actually looks like over time, what to expect on day 1, day 3, and in the weeks that follow, so you don't give up before the shift has a chance to take root. One of the biggest mistakes parents make with any new approach is expecting instant, permanent change. The connection bridge is powerful, but it works through repetition, not perfection. On the first day, you may notice only small shifts. The meltdown might still happen, but it may end faster. Your child might lean towards you instead of pulling away. These are early signs that the nervous system is learning a new pattern. By the third day, something subtle often changes. Your child begins to recognize your calm response sooner. The intensity may rise, but it falls more quickly. You might might stay steadier without having to think about it as much. This is your child starting to trust the process, even if they can't explain it. After a couple of weeks, the transformation becomes clearer. Emotional moments don't disappear, but they become less explosive. Your child starts recovering faster and cooperating sooner. You feel more confident holding boundaries without guilt. Most importantly, your child is learning an internal skill, how to move from big feelings back to calm with support. That skill is far more valuable than obedience because it lasts beyond childhood. Progress doesn't mean fewer emotions, it means stronger regulation. And that's how lasting behavior change actually happens. We'll return to the exact moment you saw at the beginning of this video, and I'll show you how that same scene plays out now with these tools in your hands. Let's return to that moment from the beginning. The sharp scream, the toys hitting the floor, the tightness in your chest as everything inside you urges you to fix it now. Before, that moment felt overwhelming because you were trying to control behavior while your child's nervous system was still on fire. And no one ever told you that was an impossible task. Now, picture the same scene, but with a different response. You pause instead of rushing. You soften your body before speaking. You move closer instead of pulling away. Your voice stays low and steady. Your child still cries, but the cry changes. It loses its sharp edge. Their body begins to lean toward you instead of fighting against you. Nothing about the situation magically changed. The boundary is still there. The rule is still the rule. What changed was the order. Connection came first. And because of that, guidance finally had somewhere safe to land. That moment, once filled with frustration and self-doubt, becomes something else entirely. A quiet turning point. A moment where your child learns something deeper than any rule. When I fall apart, I'm not alone. And that lesson stays. I'll leave you with the one core message to carry forward and a gentle, practical next step you can try tonight to begin building more calm in your home, one moment at a time. Here's the truth most parents rarely hear, but deeply need to. Your child won't remember every meltdown, every refusal, or every tear. What they will remember is how they felt in those moments. They'll remember whether someone stayed close when emotions felt too big to hold alone. And that feeling becomes the foundation for how they learn to calm themselves in the years ahead. This approach isn't about being perfect. It isn't about staying calm all the time. It's about showing up with presence more often than not. Each time you build the connection bridge, you teach your child something lasting. Emotions don't break the connection, and boundaries don't take love away. That lesson shapes trust, confidence, and cooperation far more deeply than obedience ever could. Tonight, try this just once. Choose one hard moment and focus only on the connection before the correction. You don't need to fix everything. One small shift is enough to begin changing the tone of your home. And if this way of parenting resonates with you, stay close. There's so much more ahead. Gentle tools to build emotional safety, deepen connection, and raise children who feel understood rather than controlled. You're not behind. You're not doing it wrong. You're learning a better way together with your child.